All right, Divine Lions and Lionesses, welcome back to the Sovereign Soul Show. You know, we stand for love over here, and then a little bit of levity and liberty, because after all, love is the greatest power in the universe, the omniverse from our great all-loving Mother, Father, source creation. As you know, I've been a Reiki master for nearly a decade, practicing 22, lots of incredible spiritual experiences and life between live sessions, and my work with the quantum healing hypnotherapy that was brought forward by Dolores Cannon, Law of One. And I've been so kindly of Honey to introduce myself to Anya of the Spiritual Soul Centers, because there's an incredible gala that's about to happen in December, and we'd love to see all of you there. And I'm gonna try and bring in, we've already thrown it out to him, and he's kind of like, that's great, it's a party, Mark Atwood coming along to that. So, you know, maybe he'll show up in his plasma ship. Anya, it's great to have you here from the Spiritual Soul Center to talk about the New Earth Ball, the New Earth Gala, ringing in the new heaven on earth and making it a reality. I'm so stoked and excited to be there overseas with you guys in December.
Oh, thank you so much. I am honestly so excited and I'm really honored to be
Yeah.
on. Thank you very much. And like you say, thank you, Honey, for being that little connector. And Mark,
Yeah,
we've always
cosmic
got
bridge.
these. I love it. That's what I always think of Mark is like a light worker connector, because he
Yeah,
brought a lot of us together in Morocco initially. And
yeah.
then from there, the connections that have come from there has just been magical. So every time I'm connected with someone from Honey and it's aligned for me and the other person, it just seems to be like fireworks. So again,
Yeah.
I'm really, really excited to be connecting with yourself and to also be connecting with your lovely people, because the one great thing about us all individually is we are unique, like individual pieces of the puzzle, and our beautiful people that connect with us and that follow us and support us also have a varied experience and a varied mindset and a varied energies. So it's really beautiful to be able to reach in and connect in with different frequencies and also share the opportunity to connect in such a fabulous way with your beautiful people, yourself, and anyone else that this video reaches. So it's super exciting and I'm just absolutely buzzing at the whole concept of everything. It's really exciting now. It's becoming a reality and it's more than just the vision.
Yeah, it totally is. And it's really incredible. It was so great to have that Zoom with you and Honey to just expand upon it, right? And everybody, you can see what we're talking about. You've already noticed the intro video of what's going to happen, so you can register at the link below the description. If you're watching the broadcast or listen to the podcast for later, because you're driving behind the wheel or maybe on a plane, listen to this downloaded. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about the Ascension, because Honey and I run the Ascension series. Every 2 weeks, we post these shows. We've been talking about it ever since, and to be your own Nasara, that the new heaven on earth is here for us, right? It's already created in the ether, and it's up to us to help manifest this. And when we were introduced, a key element of this is we are literally going to have a gala to celebrate it, bringing it in with these 150 divine souls from around the world up in the UK. I found that absolutely fascinating. I'm like, absolutely, I'm in. I don't know what it entails, but let's get it going, right?
I know,
So
I love your
go ahead.
enthusiasm.
Yeah. As the organizer who's been running these retreats for years with you and your partner, and now I think this is the retreat to anchor it in for the new
Yeah.
age, where we are with our crystalline bodies. Bye-bye, carbon, nearly gone. And as well as that, peace, love, harmony, and joy, which is what we all aspire to. So tell everybody
Yeah.
a little bit about yourself, Anya, and what they can expect with all these
I
lovely speakers.
totally agree. Peace and love. Thank you, Brad. I love that. It's beautiful. And yeah, I mean, I suppose I'm a bit younger than people usually in this industry. I suppose at the first time when I experienced into the world, I found myself a little bit younger than most, and I find that a really great kind of experience as a bridge because I've not had as much time on Earth, so there's that difference. However, I came into Earth with such a vision and such a purpose. And at 16 years old, I remember feeling such a drive to understand why I was here and I had so many questions. And, I was studying ethics and philosophy and I did a criminology degree. And I just wanted to learn about the world and why we was here and why am I here and what is this deep feeling of purpose I have. And I'm not getting the answers from anywhere. And it wasn't until becoming a tarot card reader at 17 which really then opened the doors to a whole world of answers that I finally found some satisfaction from, you know. And I'd watched things like the Zeitgeist and stuff like that when I was like 15, 16. So I'd always had quite an open perspective, and the people I'm around do have that perspective as well. So I was quite lucky in that way. But becoming into the world of spirituality allowed me to truly expand and to just ask so many questions. You know, I went into past life healing, I went into channeling, I went into mediumship, and kind of every facet of multidimensional work I kind of tried to explore and, you know, gain knowledge. That was always a mission of mine. And in 2020 and 2021, when everything kind of shifted, you know, the mission became more of conscious awareness and spreading the seeds and raising awareness to what's going on, which, like many of us, it did. And then I remember in 2021 the shift that happened for me, and it felt like I need to do something about this and stop talking about it. And that was when I really got the drive and the visions for the retreats, the Mind, Body, Soul retreat, which I ran last year in Spain, which was absolutely
Awesome.
magnificent, life-changing. But the vision came in 2020, 2021. So it was a long time before, a couple of years before it actually came into fruition. And again, I have a lot of thanks to Mark for giving me that hands-on experience by inviting me to kind of facilitate in Morocco and allow me to expand my career in that way into more of a physical group settings and hosting workshops and retreats and you know, holding space for people. And that retreat for me itself was life-changing, being a facilitator. So that really kind of spiraled the ball of how can I do this and how can I expand this for more people. And you know, work closely with these beautiful people. I gain a lot of inspiration, ideas, feedback, and connections with people like Mark and Honey and Abby. And, you know, these are my like support network in terms of when it comes to visioning this out there. So it's not something we do alone, but creating this, it came in when I was visiting Soul Family in America for 6 weeks this year. And I'd been through a lot of human stuff, and I really had the time to decompress and kind of work on the nervous system. Because after the Mind, Body, Soul retreat, I always say I allow things to come in when they're channeled. And then if I'm not getting it channeled in, then I'm not going to put it out there. You know, it has to be something that I'm getting the kind of calling to do. And I had a little baby last year. And so I just kind of thought maybe I'm just being told to rest a little bit. So I did that for a little while. And in America, I got the vision of the gala, the ball. I have called it the Freedom of Spirit Ball, but I do think the gala,
Nice.
the Freedom of Spirit Gala, whatever we like to use, Freedom of Spirit
Yeah.
Ball Gala, both works. But that was the initial concept that came through. And it was the ideology of bringing back what it means to connecting with dance, what it means to connecting with the energies of people that we are connected with, and to raise the vibration. And obviously I forgot to mention I'm a musician, I'm a singer. I've been a singer a long time, since being a child, you know, in all the stage schools and all this, the singing on stage for a long time, writing my own songs and stuff like that. So music and dance and everything like that is very much connected with my soul. Art and drawing, painting, all them sorts of things. I'm a little free-flowing fairy, as I like to call it, with a like to try many things and just see what goes along on the way.
That's awesome.
And so the music thing kept coming up. You know, Mark, again, massive inspiration for that, because he kept saying to me, you need to use your voice more. And he invited me to Manchester, and I sang twice in his events in the monastery in Manchester, which was the most magical venue to sing in. The acoustics are just unbelievable in there. And then I sang at the gala as well in Ireland, which was a fantastic celebration as well. Anyone that was there knows I was I think I was about 3-4 months pregnant, and I was up singing and DJing until 5 o'clock in the morning, because that's how much dedication I have to the music. I was like, we've just got to dance, guys. You know, like I love the connection. It's a big part of my being and my inspiration for self. And sometimes it's kind of been the only thing that got me through the feelings of hopelessness. Certain songs and certain things that came on at specific synchronized times were my biggest inspiration. And so I like to use that for other people, you know, and like to bring that energy. So long story short, I wanted to integrate the music into the events and find a way to integrate the activations from the voice and in the activations from live music through connecting in the spiritual level and through helping bring this ascension process forward and reaching more people than just a one-to-one session. And so the ball came in. And so then it was like, okay, so how's this going to work? And navigating it all on the human level as it does. And then it became more realistic with the venues and the location and the traveling to offer a couple of days, a 3-day experience, you know,
Right.
more of the opportunity to connect. Because as I mentioned, we've got Honey, we've got a lot of people traveling from the USA, all over the world. We've got a lot of my team work in the USA. And so we're not going to want people traveling from all over the world to just stay for a night. And that was a big factor of it. And so we kind of then worked as a team and collaborated and thought, well, why don't we have a soul family gathering? Why don't we have a New Earth gathering? Why don't we bring everyone together, not just for one night of celebration, but for 3 days of deep activation, you know, of workshops and celebrations and meditations and, you know, just bringing this in, bringing the new earth in and being the versions of self and creating the communities and creating the experiences and the memories and the activations that then we can take home and spread throughout our, you know, grid activations. And so it just kind of spiraled from there. It was just like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then the perfect venue came, which honestly, I was kind of, this one got me. I work in divine synchronicity and divine flow. I'm used to the most weird, random stuff happening. I'm like, oh yeah, it's great. We're just, but this was like, okay, you know, my lovely, beautiful little Nana went to join my granddad back in spirit world after 21 years on the same day. They passed over 21 years to the day, which was, and the same time at which she last spoke to him, which was beautiful, beautiful. And anyways, it's connected because she lives 10 minutes away from this venue that I had never heard of, never seen before, never even, you know, thought about it. And obviously I'm into spirituality. I go to a lot of events and I've never heard of this venue, you know, which was strange. My team member in America found a venue that was half an hour, 40 minutes away from my house. And this venue is unbelievable. It's one of the only healing hotel. Well, I think it is the only healing hotel in the whole of the UK. Awesome. It's got 3,000 acres of sacred land. It's got 3 stone circles, ancient stone circles. It's got moon baths and flotation tanks and soma domes and healing centers and pods and little treatment rooms. And I always forget stuff because it's just, there's so much that it brings, you know. And I'm like, I try and get it all in. But the venue, I went there for a site visit and we spent 7.5 hours there exploring the grounds because it was truly magical. I mean, they have a shaman that comes and creates energy holes throughout the building to create a synergy flow in the buildings. They have tree whisperers that come and plant the trees where the trees asked to be planted. And I'm like, you guys,
awesome.
You went my dreams. Like,
right.
It's unbelievable. I was like, so unbelievably taken back because I've hosted events, like you said before. I've hosted a retreat, I've hosted workshop days, I've hosted activation days, and the venues have been beautiful, don't get me wrong, but nothing like this, no level of activation. And when I brought this team the vision, their energy and their reciprocation and their involvement and their excitement and their wantingness to be involved with this event and their willingness to help and provide all this extra support was just, it just proved why it's all in synchronized energy. So the venue tops it all off. So we're going to have the 3 days of activations and workshops. You know, there is limited capacity, but there is the opportunity to stay in the grounds of the venue with us in the 3,000 acres. Some of the lodges are closer to the main hall, some of them are not, but they're all on the grounds. And then there is a local hotel. All this information will be all available, don't worry. But so it's going to be the opportunity to stay all together, you know, with people like yourself, Honey, Abby, all these pioneers of the ascension. And we're going to be able to kind of connect in and bring our little bit of magic. You know, I'm going to be doing my transformation to self workshop and activation on the land. We're going to be going out to the stone circles and doing some grid work so you can physically practice that work as well. So there's going to be some good magic coming in. And I'll stop rambling on now because I've talked for a little while, but it's going to be a deep activation. I love talking about it. I do really love talking about it. But yeah, everyone's bringing their own individual magic, you know, and the way it's all kind of synchronized and flowed in now, it's really just showing how divinely aligned this was, because it's been, you know, what's say easy, but on a human level, everything's just flowed, whatever the word is, flowed into the same kind of energies and divine energies. And yeah, to finish it off, we're going to have the Freedom of Spirit Ball. And that's after our 3-day soul family reunion. Like I said, there's all the grounds and there's little rooms, and there'll be where we can have food together, so everyone will have the chance to share stories and to connect with each other, and to actually have the opportunity to be understood by each other and to hold space for each other. And I think that for me sometimes is one of the most powerful things about these events, is just being around people that get you and that understand what you've been through and that understand your frequency and where we're going, and we can bridge these connections to help build this new earth into reality. And we can celebrate it all on the last night with the Freedom of Spirit Ball, which is literally letting your spirit run free.
Yeah.
And the attire is grand. We're going to be going big wings and ball gowns and fairy forest attire, and it's going to be a grand ball. My partner works in the events industry, so I've got some good connections there to be able to create a grand, the vision is there. I can see it, so we've got it in flow. It's going to be a celebration of the new earth, to really celebrate the new earth and to really bring that in. I will be performing some music live, some singing. There'll be other live musicians, there'll be a DJ, there'll be all the music on 3-course dining, there'll be everything extravagance, and mainly a lot of dancing too. And there'll also be the opportunity to have a traditional dance, like a waltz. I won't claim to be the expert there because I'm not, but we have a lovely lady that's going to be offering a free dance class for anybody, that, including me, that needs it, so that we can experience that. Because I think bringing back traditional values of those, and that doesn't need to be necessarily men and women, that can be you and your beautiful friend or your sister or your partners and cousins and all that things. It's just about celebrating energies and love. And you could be there. I traveled totally solo to many events and met lifelong friends, and this is the point. If you haven't got anyone to come with, even better, because you don't have to come with any responsibilities or any, you can fully surrender to the experience. So don't be afraid of coming on your own, because you're going to meet people that are going to be truly holding space for everyone. So whether you're coming together or coming alone, it's going to be the most powerful, activating experience. And I'm just so looking forward to being with everyone, being with yourself, being with Honey, being with Mark, being with all these people, and just connecting in on that level. Because I think that's when we're going to feel the activations and have the inspiration to bring in the new earth in our own individual way and start spreading that across the grid.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yes, yes, yes to everything. So the location and the transformative experience, and I'll just bring this in. So if anybody has been to events, concerts, as well as personal development, whether it's a Tony Robbins, right, or Joe Dispenza, or you've been with Bob Proctor, right, and I've been fortunate to be with all of them except Joe. There's a transformative experience that happens in the collective, even if you're there independently. The key thing about this, which is completely different than many of the other events that anybody would else have gone to throughout the world, which you're so great at doing, Anya, with the Spiritual Soul Center work, is integrating the harmony with everybody's at a cellular level. And you've talked about the pioneers of ascension. You have the sacred site, right? Albion, as people know, in the United Kingdom, where we have this anchor of beautiful energy and these ley lines for Gaia, which she's putting out there. And in my time in Peru on my spirit walk, right, and connecting with Pachamama and learning Quechua. Now, I don't speak Quechua fully, I can tell you all that. When you're just in those areas, that vibration as well cleanses your spirit, and now you have it anchored within as you impart yourself upon the world through all of your journeys, your physical soul walk, your soul, spiritual, ringing out there. And in addition to it, now you have that new level of soul family. And everybody who's watching this, and what's amazing to me in the 3.5 years almost on this show, Anya, is the majority of the audience are warrior grandmothers, right? And then behind that, you have more of the seasoned mothers, in their 40s and 50s, who are very much aware and intuitively tapped in from what we've seen. And now we've got to bring in the divine masculine. So there's that kind of divine masculinity, both of the men and the women, right? Because the way structure has been in the 3D that they've placed over each other, they've set the pendulum off. So now we're swinging it back, and we have that beautiful coupling So we harness this all together. We have this balance in the sacred place on 3,000 acres that have stone circles, that have your, think about this, what you just said, right? Yes, if you can't stay exactly on site, there are lodges on the property. Who wouldn't want to stay at a lodge with people who've been tree whispering for the trees that are planted there? Come on. And forest area gardens, off the charts, amazing and incredible food, nutritious, which nourishes the body. We're nourishing the soul. And I think this is going to be the gong, literally the gong for ringing in not only the new year, as people know it, the new age, which is what the manifestation and the intention is. And you're with all these people literally having a ball the entire time. Amazing. Absolutely
perfectly, Brad.
Honored to know you. And that, you know, for anybody is wondering, oh my gosh, there's hope for a world, there's community, we're doing this community over here. Great, get your community together and show up, or one or two of you come in and show up, and then you can take the facets back and the work back with you and impart it upon society and the world. This is what the ascension is all about, right? Learning, being and doing and having and sharing. Once you have it, you can share it. That's our entire intentionality. That's
the whole point. You know, we're not here to gatekeep knowledge. And I really, it does infuriate me when I see that in the spiritual world, because obviously we have to have an exchange in this human 3D. I fully understand that. But when we see gatekeepers of knowledge, it does bother me, because we are here to activate others. I am not here to heal you. I'm here to teach you how to heal yourself and teach you how to the remembrance of your power. And that's something I always affirm to other people. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the word healer or being a healer, because I fall under that category sometimes, but the way I perceive it is my job is to teach you your remembrance of self, because each and every individual one has a power, an activation, a gift, a piece of the puzzle that is unique to this whole bigger picture. And me teaching you a carbon copy of mine is not going to bring out yours, and that's not the point in the ascension, like you say. And so to come to this event is like when I gained from Morocco, like what people gained from the retreat last year in Spain. It's to expand on your puzzle piece and to expand on your abilities and your connection and your frequency. So that, like you say, Brad, I love the way you put that. It's about representing your community and representing your mission. And what we are here to do and create is to bring that energy, but then also to absorb what we need to take from this experience, and then to go spread that back. When I came back from Morocco, that was where I devised this workshop that I'm going to be bringing to the event in December. I've done it 3 times before, and each time I change it because it adapts to the frequency. But the whole gist of it is about the remembrance and the activation of your etheric self, the activation of your earth angel self, and those abilities to not just be a human, but to be a spiritual being living a human experience. And that combination and that reactivation and reignition between self is a really transformative thing. And to be able to take what you can from that and every other little magical workshop, meditation, session, conversation, dinner, party, ball, celebration, anything that you take, and then expand that off, that's the seed spreading, that's the new earth, that's how we create it. You know, it doesn't get built overnight. It gets built by us building it as a team and learning and expanding. So I really love the way you rephrased it, and I love your enthusiasm. It makes me even more excited. So I'm just really honored that you're, you know, feeling the frequency to join us, and also feeling that frequency to share it and to encourage people to come, because I do believe that connecting in with this network of people, like I mentioned at the beginning, different people, is how we create the new earth, by not just repeating the same message to the same people. I think it is about, outsourcing is the right word, I think, to kind of outsource the connections and the people, so that we are spreading this message, and we also are sharing the opportunity to connect in this way.
Yeah. And this is the tuning fork example. I leverage the gong. I also want to bring in this. It's like the tuning fork, right? Here's a spiritual tuning fork of this assembly of divinity, of everybody who's collating and coming together, right? So there's Abby and Mark. I'm going to keep after Mark for sure.
We'll keep bringing Matt.
Right? Like, yeah, I'm in. And as we said in the pre-show, we're like, yeah, if there's a party, Mark's going to be there. So does anybody worry about that? Right? And I'll call Jane too, and she'll work on him. And then we've got Honey and myself and Zaria and yourself and your partner, and as well as the people that we already have in our communities that are nodding their head like, yes, absolutely, absolutely. This is where it happens, that culmination. And this is one thing too that helps rebalance the world, so that when you go back home to wherever you've come from into your community, once again, you're carrying that vibration of ascension, and you have this assembly of souls, which are basically your virtual reality dream team, so to speak, of this soul family, which is pulled together, right? We know the saying is, it takes a village. And that's what you have, this incredible assembly. Every time in Native American culture and indigenous culture around the world, there is always a annual or even a seasonal celebration, right? They see the sacred mark of ensuring that you are giving the sanctity as well as the gratitude, the appreciation, and going within in a community of each other and being led in harmony and as one. We look at Avatar, for example, right? And you have that commune with nature, as well as everybody anchored into the ground in a spiritually sound and significant spot. Then from that, they create and they also connect. Law of one. We're all one. This is our conscious vibration raising the planet, and we're better to do so. And especially where people need the nourishment right now. From what's just happened in the last half decade, nearly by the time December comes around, right? I mean, now you're just sitting here. We saw it on Truth Tour, myself and Mark, and traveling around. He did the full tour, right? I did about half of it in America, and how people just, Mark has shared stories. I've shared a little bit, as well as some others, where, you know, when you see people in small towns like Lubbock, Texas was one of those ones. I mean, Janine, I was driving the RV and she's like, how do we pronounce this? Lubbock? Lubbock? I was like, Lubbock, you know? So anyway, that's one of our funny things we have, Janine and I, but we go there. We had men and women who, some of them would break down during a series or come up to us at the end of a workshop. Myself, Mark, typically it was Janine, because Janine was a big draw there as well. And even Derek, Mark, others, like, you gave me hope, you gave me inspiration, because they've been living in isolation as I'm awake, other people are not, right? And this is where we have that next, we want to put it into a veteran standpoint and from a military standpoint, the tip of the spear. And I love how you also said this, the pioneers of the new ascension, right? There are anchor points where we have to be on Earth. So this is the place to charge up those anchor points and then go and send it out and charge up your communities and the rest of the planet and bring together this beautiful peace, love, and harmonious vibration right across. I mean, I think it's absolutely amazing. I
love
can't
the
wait
way you
to
said
hear
that,
about
Brad.
this later. Yeah.
You really put that like perfectly. That couldn't have been written any better, you know. It truly is. And like you say, you really did sum it up perfectly, but it is about just anchoring in that frequency. Like you said, bringing in that frequency and bringing in that love and bringing in that harmony. And I think I were reflecting on this the other day. I have a, you know, like I was mentioning, music is such a profound thing for me. And I remember being sat there on the floor in 2021, I think, or 2020, and listening. Well, at first I was just thinking, like, what actually is the point? You know, I was in that moment, in that victim frequency, and I was really like feeling so alone, you know, and not understanding why. I just don't understand. I didn't understand why it felt so difficult at that time and so lonely. And this song came on by a singer called Paolo Nutini. You guys might have heard of him, you might not. And it was called Iron Sky. And the lyrics to that song, I mean, it was written 10 years ago. It wasn't even about anything to do with now, but the activation that I received from that song, and it reminded me, and I actually performed that song, I think a year later on stage in Mark's event in Manchester. And it was a real like full circle moment, but to then bring that same activation to others through that song. And then I ended up writing my own song and performing that a year later on the same stage, which was also another full circle moment, which was awesome. But the energetic value of bringing that remembrance that we are not alone, that this has not been for nothing, and that this fight is for a reason, and we are going to bring it home. And this is the whole point in creating a celebration. First of all, a sanctuary, a rest, an opportunity to decompress, an opportunity to work on the nervous system, to activate the energetic self, to integrate, to connect, to release, and then to celebrate, and then to take that home with us and to hold that frequency up. This is, like you say, we've deserved it, we've earned it, and we've worked really, really hard to keep on this frequency and to keep on going on the days where we really didn't think we could. And we really went into victim and didn't know why we were doing it, but we still kept doing it and we still kept showing up. And I think that goes for everybody that's watching this and resonating with that. You know, we're all pioneers of the ascension, even if you haven't been in the public forum, but you've been bringing in that work. You know, every one of us that's been working on this ascension and bringing it in and anchoring it in are a pioneer of the ascension. And yeah, I do have special thanks to those that have obviously risked being in the public forum, because that takes a lot, and it takes a lot of risk to self and fear sometimes. And we've had to work through that over the years. So, you know, everyone's got a different role, and I'm honored to be connected with and working with and associating and working on a frequency level with these people like yourself and like the magical people that will be joining us. You know, and I just think it's going to be such a divine honor to have everybody there anchoring in this frequency. So thank you very much.
Most definitely. And I congratulate everybody who is registered right now. And there's Anya, Lily, and I, and everybody else. We're going to be doing shows every 2 weeks or so leading up to it. And for all of you who have registered as well, like, congratulations again. There is a bridge between now and December. So you're also going to receive some goodies as registration between now and December. So you're not hanging out here for 3 months like, I'm going to go, crossing the calendar, just like you do the Christmas countdown, open it up for chocolates or something. And so that you're all taken care of, right? And stewards of society, the new earth, the new heaven on earth. And this is where it's all happening at the New Earth Ball. You've got the link in the description right below. Awesome team that you set up. I'm so honored. I look forward to seeing everybody there in December as well. And coming on back. And look at this. You've got like another angel incarnate right here. There you go. Shining the light. There's your answer. There's your answer. Awesome.
Yeah. Decided to make a presentation every time we talk about certain things. The little glows, exactly. It's like the Earth Angel self is here. But no, guys, let's step into his Earth Angel self. Let's connect at the New Earth gathering. The ears ringing, the vibes are frequencing, their vibrations high. Let's connect. I want to see you there that are resonating with this, and I want to give you all a massive hug, and I want to let you know that you're not alone, and it's time to bring in that New Earth. So let's get at it.
Exactly. Be happy like the Bling Buddha. That's exactly what we're going to be doing. Awesome. Thank you, Anya. All right, buddy. We'll see you next time.
Thank you very much, Brad. Thank you for having me on.